Welcome to all the classic car enthusiasts. Okay, so hopefully this is going to work out. So I want to show you a few of the basic things that you're going to need for lead loading. Now this is real basic stuff, and obviously you learn the techniques as you go on and you get better at it. It's much easier, like I said earlier in the last video, if you're doing it flat, or you're doing it where gravity's helping you. This technique can be done upside down, it can be done vertically, no problem, but you just have to learn the technique of heating the lead so that it'll run at a reasonable rate. It won't fall off, but it goes like butter, basically like paste, and you can push it into whatever it is you're doing. These are maple paddles, and this one here obviously is, hopefully I've got all this in camera, this is a round one, you can see. This is for obviously getting into a round groove, or to make it round, and this is a flat one. It's very important that you keep these in good condition, because the flatter, you should always clean them up with a bit of sandpaper, because the flatter they are, the nicer it will make the lead when it's pushed in. So the first thing you want to do with anything is, the most important thing with lead loading is the material has to be immaculately clean, really clean. This is a piece, a little offcut that we try to use the bead roller on, just to get an idea. So this is probably exaggerated. This is quite a big dip, this, but even so, it just shows you what you can do with lead. So first thing you want to do is clean it all over, which I've already done, but I'll give it another. This is quite a heavy brush, but basically what you want to do is clean it up so it's nice and clean, and whatever you do, don't touch it with your fingers once it is clean. You could then use for instance panel wipe just to clean any dust of it, but this is just a test. So, but like I said, the biggest thing with this is cleanliness. It has to be absolutely spot on. When you're using rags, I'll show you this when we get to the tinning point, that needs to be really clean too. So basically everything you do with this until the lead is on and it's on the metal and solid, you need to be very, very clean. So as I say, these are just the basics. So what I'm going to do is I'll go through quickly some of the stuff. So obviously you need lead. This is some lead from other jobs, and as you lose some of it you can reclaim it. It normally comes in sticks like this. This is a rasp for cleaning out the lead, and the idea of this is that you can adjust so you can have a concave or convex slope depending on if you're going over a wing edge or whatever. The paddles, this is normally what you'll get in the kit, is you'll get so many bars of the lead, you'll get this, you'll get 2 paddles, maple paddles, you'll get 1 tinning compound, which is this one, and you'll probably get a tallow. The tallow basically is for the paddles to put in. It's basically a grease. It's just tallow for so you can clean up when you put it on the bottom of the paddle. It'll smooth over the lead easily. That's the idea behind that. So be careful when you buy this. Now you can see this is quite a big tub, and I bought this from Frost Restorations. It's not their fault because they buy it in, but you look at the size of this tub and you think, wow, yeah, that's pretty big. And then when you open it, you'll see that there's very little in it, and this is a common problem. So don't be fooled in thinking that the whole jar is full, because it won't be. But you don't need too much tinning compound. It depends how long you're doing it for. So the last thing you'll need is some kind of heat. You can do this with an oxyacetylene, or you can do it with just acetylene with a special head on it, or just a bluey. It only needs to be hot enough to melt the lead. So this one's done quite a bit of work, as you can see, because it did all the underseal on that Mini Cooper. So for example purposes, I'll start this up. Hopefully this is not too cold. It's quite cold in here tonight. So one of the first things you want to do, if it's cold in the garage like it is now, it's probably a good idea just to heat up the metal a little bit. Yeah. The first thing is you want to clean it and then key it, just like paint. You can't put paint over shiny paint, you have to key it first so that the paint has something to grip to. So you just give this a little heat. You don't have to go mad, just enough to, I'll do this little groove along here. You can see there's a bit of crap in there, but there's not in this one. So I'll just show you. So I put a little bit of heat in there, just get it nice. Okay, and that's enough. Then what you do then is you take your brush, if I had a paintbrush, and you can water this, you can thin this compound down. But basically all you do is you put your tinning compound in there to where you want it. Obviously you must tin right out to where you want to go to, or past it in fact. And I'll do that one in there as well. Okay, so you've got your tinning compound on. Now what you want to get a rag in your hand, make sure you've got a nice clean piece of rag, and then you can start tinning. This is called tinning, so you need this on the metal before you can do anything. Now what you'll see is, you'll see initially it'll start to dry up. So I get a bit of heat in it. You'll see it's just a kind of dries, almost like red lead or grey lead in this case. So I'm going to heat it up, and what you'll see is it'll start to heat and it'll start to bubble a little bit. Depending on how much you've got on it, of course. You can see there it's just heating, and it'll just start to almost go like a fried chip colour. It'll go like brown. You can just see it now starting to turn. Hopefully you can. Hopefully this camera's going to work. You can see there it's just kind of getting a golden thing in it. Now what you do is you wipe it in one direction. Now you can see there it's gone almost chrome-like. That means the tinning compound is in onto the metal. So I'd say, look, you just burn just a little bit, not too much, just enough to get a few. If you've got a large area, you have to do this in sections. You can't. Don't use this again. Put the rag into another position, and again wipe. And you can see again, it's gone that chrome colour. So you can see the massive difference there between one and the other. Again, just heat it. I'm trying to do this within a 10-minute time frame because the camera will only go on for 10 minutes for some reason. So I'll just get this a little bit hotter, and then we'll try wiping it. Again, make sure you turn the rag over. Don't put it on a second time, because what you'll do is you'll introduce crap into the flux, which is what you don't want. So now you can see here, I'll do this one as well. In fact, I haven't really got time, so I'll just do the one. This is quite bad, this dip, but as I say, you can see it. So then what you want to be doing is using your solder. Now, I'll use an old piece. Now with a little piece like that, you've got to be careful. You need to wear gloves, because that will get hot very, very quickly. So I'll put a new one on just to show you. So what we want to do now is we want to heat the end of the lead, get the lead hot, or not hot, but hot enough so that it's not dripping, but just start to warm it up a little bit, because they're quite thick, these lead. They're quite thick, these lead bars. So what we want to do now, let's start to, the temperature on this is it's just a bit of a cool. You've just got to watch and see. I'll turn this up a little bit. So we still want to keep this fairly warm, because you want to receive it onto it. You can see the chrome will just get shinier, and you can see. Now there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can put the lead in, and you can drip it into place if you're doing it vertically. You can watch now, you might be able to see that this is, I hope this overhead camera is going to work. You might be able to see that that's starting to form, it's starting to get soft, a bit like butter, you can see there. So I'll keep this hot, and I'll start popping this in. And you can see it's actually running off there. You can see if I do it very, very liquidy. What you want to do is just put as much of this in as you can. You can just push it in. As you can see there. That's not a problem. You can see there's quite a bit in there. This is about all you need. So now what you've got is a nice big lump. So I'll just heat up the tallow a little bit, put a bit on the bottom of